Hey everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my 2020 Bookish reading goals wrap up for you guys. So we'll find out how I did on all of my goals. If you want to see my original video and my mid-year check-in, I will leave those linked in the description below. I think, okay for not knowing when I set these goals that there's going to be a worldwide pandemic. So I will just read through them. I have my computer down here, so I'll just read through them and talk about what I did or didn't do to accomplish these goals. So my Goodreads goal I set at 50 books, which I've had pretty consistent over the last few years, and I managed to hit that. I think I read 70 something books this year. 50 for me is like perfect number, so I accomplished that one. The second goal that I had was to read at least 10 owned books that were new to me. So I own a bunch of books, at least 50 books that I haven't read yet. So my goal was to read at least 10 of them, and I accomplished that goal as well. I made sure this year to actually take the time and find books that were on my shelves that I hadn't read yet and make sure to include them in my reading. So I think like taking steps towards actually accomplishing that goal was really helpful for me, and I was able to get a bunch of the books that I owned actually read. My third goal was to read a V.E. Schwab book. I did not accomplish that, partly because when I make these goals, I make them on a Word document on my computer, and then they just sit there, and I don't do anything with it, and I don't have it somewhere where I can like visibly see it. So for the next year's goals, which I will be including a link to that video down below, if you want to see my 2021 reading Bookish goals, but you'll see I have ideas on how to improve that so I can actually accomplish a goal like reading a V.E. Schwab book, which is a really easy goal, but I just kept forgetting that I had it. Next up was to start my suffering series. So back in sophomore year of college, I took a class on the literature of suffering, and I really wanted to make a video series about it and discussing the books that I read nowadays and like YA literature in particular and how it deals with suffering. So that didn't happen either. But I think that was a lofty goal because I'm still a full-time student, and I was all year this year. And so I'm going into my final semester of college now of my undergrad degree. So in the second half of the year, I will have like more free time to actually be able to make videos and be able to like sit down and analyze a book for fun that I really haven't had the opportunity and like the time to set aside and do that while I've been in school. So I didn't accomplish this, but this is still like something that I want to eventually get to. The next one is one that I have every year, and that's post a wrap up before the 10th of the next month. So I did not do this in 3 months, May, July, and September. I was late on those. And the other months that this didn't happen for was because in the second half of the year I just like didn't read very much because we were doing school online and it was a time. I'll just say that. So I actually did like decently well, though. I'd say I got like 50% of the videos up, so that's pretty good, I'd say. Then I wanted to post one video every 2 weeks, and which only comes out to like 2 videos a month. But the thing is, there was a pandemic. So that kind of stopped my inspiration for doing YouTube videos in general. As well as this fall semester, I moved in with some friends, and so I was actually like living with people I enjoyed being with, so I didn't have the desire to make YouTube videos as much. So because I was like, we would just like sit in our living room because we're doing online school, so there's nowhere else to go. So we just sit in our living room like in the evenings and hang out and watch movies and just talk and play on our phones and stuff, which was all good, and I'm super thankful for it, but it just meant that like I didn't have inspiration or the motivation to do YouTube, which is totally fine, and I'm okay with that. So making a video every 2 weeks, like I didn't know there was going to be a worldwide pandemic when I made that goal, so what can you do? My next goal was to talk to the library about making videos there or with library people. So I started volunteering at the public library in Green Bay back in February. So I was able to do it for a month and a half when I left for spring break in March and then never came back. So obviously this goal was not achievable because of the pandemic, but now I actually have a job at the public library, so there's a possibility of like me bringing this up at some point in time, but I've only been employed there for a month, so it's probably not going to happen in the very near future, but possibly in the future. I don't know. Then my next goal was to tell more people about my channel and like make videos with more people. I'd say overall I did get a little bit more comfortable talking about the fact that I have a YouTube channel. For me, it's still kind of like, I don't want to tell people if they think, because they might think I'm weird. But I think I did get a little bit more comfortable with that. The problem though is that because of COVID, I wasn't really meeting new people to be able to talk about this. And so most of the friends that I have like already know that this is a thing. There wasn't, again, COVID kind of happened and everything changed. So I'd say I did okay with this goal. This, again, I didn't have like a specific number or anything. I just wanted to become more comfortable. And I think I did honestly become more comfortable talking about it. So that's good. And then my last goal was to post vlogs within 2 weeks of finishing them. So I did that for all of them except for the Reading Rush, which I never finished the last few days of the Reading Rush vlog, mostly because nothing happened and I didn't end up getting like any reading done, so it wasn't exciting, so I decided not to finish that video in general. But I think I did actually do very well about keeping my vlogs like pretty close to when I actually finished them, because that was a problem in the past. So I accomplished that one as well. So yeah, those are all the bookish goals that I had for 2020, and you know, COVID took a bunch of them and messed with them, but I'd say overall I've done better, and I was able to really grow as a person and as a reader, I think, this year, and not necessarily in my channel sense, but more so individually. So yeah. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be in the description as always. Again, I will also link 2021's Bookish Goals video in the description once that comes out, so you can find out what I'm doing in this new year. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!